Hey there, and welcome back to the Speak English podcast. I'm David, and today I'm joined by the always brilliant and full of energy, Sarah.
Thanks, David. I'm really happy to be here. And I have to say, today's topic is something that every English learner struggles with at some point.
Absolutely. Have you ever started speaking English and then suddenly your mind goes blank? You pause, trying to remember the next word? We've all been there.
Yes. It's like your thoughts are ready, but your mouth doesn't get the message. The good news? That can be fixed. And that's exactly what we'll talk about today.
In this episode, we'll show you how to speak English smoothly and naturally, without those long, awkward pauses that make you feel stuck.
And once you learn this, you'll sound more confident, more fluent, and you'll finally enjoy speaking English without overthinking every sentence.
So, stay with us, grab your coffee, and let's make your English flow like a conversation between friends, not a test.
But before we dive in, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. It's the best way to keep improving your English every single week with us.
When people say they want to speak English without pausing, what they really mean is that they want to speak smoothly, like the words are connected. It's not about speed or perfection. It's about letting your ideas flow naturally without your mind stopping mid-sentence.
That's right. Many learners believe fluency means speaking fast, but true fluency means staying connected to your thoughts while you talk. You can speak slowly and still sound natural if your ideas move like a stream, without those moments when you freeze or search for words.
When you pause too often, it's usually because your brain is busy trying to organize everything at once, choosing words, checking pronunciation, and hoping it all comes out right. That overload makes your thoughts collide instead of connecting, and that's what breaks your flow.
The real goal is to train your brain to trust itself while you speak. You already know more English than you think. When you stop doubting every sentence, your natural rhythm begins to appear. That rhythm is what makes a conversation feel easy, confident, and alive.
Think of it like walking and talking at the same time. You don't stop to plan every step. You just move. Speaking works the same way. The more you let your ideas guide your words instead of controlling every detail, the smoother and more effortless your English becomes.
Most pauses come from fear. Fear of making a mistake, of sounding strange, or of forgetting a word. But that fear only grows when you stop to think too much. The secret is to keep going. Even if you hesitate, continue the sound, connect the next idea, and let it breathe.
Once you start seeing English as something alive, not a list of words to memorize, everything changes. You'll notice patterns, expressions, and rhythms that make conversation flow naturally. It's not something you learn overnight, but something you grow into with practice.
And that's where connection plays a big role. You don't need to remember every word. You need to remember the feeling of the sentence. When your focus shifts from being perfect to being connected, your speech becomes clear, natural, and surprisingly confident.
There's something powerful about realizing you can speak with pauses that sound natural, not forced. Native speakers pause too, but their pauses are moments of expression, not confusion. That's the difference you're learning to build with practice and awareness.
The moment you stop chasing perfection and start trusting your rhythm, your English voice begins to sound more authentic. That's when you feel free to express who you are, not just what you've learned. And that freedom is what true fluency really means.
Let's imagine you're telling a friend what you did last weekend. Instead of focusing on finding perfect words, you focus on flow. You might say, "I went out with my friends, had a great time, and then we watched a movie." You're sharing a story, not giving a test.
Exactly. The key is to connect your ideas like a chain. You don't stop between every thought. You let one lead to another. If you forget a word, you don't freeze. You describe it another way or skip it entirely. What matters is keeping your voice alive and moving.
A great way to practice this is to speak out loud as you go about your day. Describe what you're doing, what you see, or what you plan next. I'm making coffee, I'm checking my messages, I'm going for a walk. You're not performing. You're letting English live with you.
That's a good one. And here's another. Try retelling short stories or moments from your life, but keep your tone natural, like you're chatting with a close friend. Don't worry about using big words. Focus on keeping the rhythm. The more you relax, the smoother it gets.
You can even record yourself telling the same story twice. First slowly, then a bit faster, without thinking too hard. The goal isn't speed, it's connection. When you listen back, notice how your sentences start to flow more naturally the second time around.
And remember, movement helps too. Sometimes when you're sitting still, your energy drops and your speech feels flat. Try walking while speaking. It wakes up your brain and gives your voice a natural rhythm. It's like your body helps your words move forward.
Another trick is to think in short, complete thoughts, not single words. Instead of thinking, coffee, make, cup, think, I'm making a cup of coffee. That keeps your rhythm alive. You're not just naming words. You're expressing a full moment in time, and that changes everything.
Yes, and when you focus on moments instead of words, you naturally use intonation and emotion. You start to sound more human, not robotic. People feel your message, not just hear it. That emotional connection is what makes conversation flow so effortlessly.
You can even use your hands or facial expressions as you talk. It helps your speech feel more dynamic and real. When your body is involved, your voice becomes warmer and more expressive. And suddenly, the pauses sound like part of your personality, not hesitation.
So the idea isn't to avoid pauses completely. It's to make them sound natural, like part of your rhythm. You're not trying to erase silence. You're shaping it into something that fits the flow of your thoughts. That's when your English starts sounding truly alive.
When you start speaking without pausing, you feel something shift inside you. Conversations stop feeling like a challenge and start feeling like connection. You stop worrying about each sentence and begin to enjoy the sound of your own confidence growing.
And that confidence changes everything. You begin to trust your words. You stop checking if you sound good enough. Instead, you focus on expressing your thoughts clearly, and people can feel your calm energy. That natural flow becomes your real strength.
Another great thing is how your listening skills improve. When you train your brain to think and speak continuously, you begin to understand spoken English more easily. You recognize patterns, tone, and rhythm, and you respond faster because your mind stays active.
Yes, it's like your ears and mouth start working together. You no longer feel left behind in conversations because your reactions are quicker and smoother. You understand the flow of English instead of translating it, and that makes communication much more natural.
Speaking without pausing also helps reduce anxiety. You no longer freeze when someone asks you a question in English. Instead of searching for the perfect word, you focus on keeping the conversation alive, and that makes you sound calm, relaxed, and confident.
And that relaxed feeling spreads to other areas of your life. You become more comfortable speaking in meetings, traveling, or even chatting with new people. Once you stop worrying about mistakes, your English becomes something you use, not something you fear.
It also boosts your motivation. When you finally realize you can speak fluidly, you feel proud. That sense of progress pushes you to practice even more. It's not just about improving your English. It's about discovering how capable you already are.
I love that part, because fluency isn't just a skill, it's a mindset. When you stop overthinking and start trusting your rhythm, you open a door to a whole new level of communication. You stop surviving in English and start living through it.
And maybe the most beautiful part is the connection you create with people. When your words flow, you stop focusing on yourself and start focusing on them. That makes your presence feel warmer, your stories more vivid, and your conversations unforgettable.
Because in the end, speaking without pausing isn't about talking perfectly. It's about connecting deeply. It's about letting your thoughts and emotions reach others without fear. That's when English stops being a skill and becomes part of who you are.
Let's make this simple. If you want to speak without pausing, you need daily exposure to real English rhythm. Start with shadowing. Listen to short clips of natural conversation and repeat right away. Don't wait. Don't pause. Just follow the speaker's flow.
That's such a powerful exercise. When you shadow, you're training your brain and mouth to move together. It's not about copying perfectly, it's about feeling the rhythm. After a few days, your pronunciation becomes smoother, and your pauses naturally disappear.
Step 2. Talk to yourself in English. Describe what's around you, what you're doing, or what you're planning next. Say things like, "I'm making dinner," or "I'm checking my schedule." The goal is to keep your English muscles active, even when you're alone.
And step 3, record yourself. I know it sounds awkward, but it's one of the best ways to notice your natural pauses. Listen back and ask yourself, where did I stop? Why? Then try again, but this time, focus on keeping your thoughts moving without hesitation.
Step 4. Learn sentence chunks. Short, useful expressions that come out as one smooth unit. Like, "You know what I mean," or "Let me think about it." When you memorize chunks instead of words, your brain connects ideas faster and reduces those empty pauses.
Another simple trick is to practice retelling something you just heard, a video, a story, or even a short conversation. Don't repeat word for word, just capture the idea in your own way. This helps your brain stay flexible and builds real conversational flow.
Step 5. Use background English. Keep a podcast, video, or radio playing daily. Even if you're not paying full attention, your brain absorbs rhythm, tone, and timing. That constant exposure helps you speak more naturally because your ear becomes your teacher.
And don't forget, speaking out loud is essential. Reading silently doesn't train your mouth. Say the words, feel them, use your voice. Every sound builds confidence, and your body starts remembering the rhythm of English the same way it remembers a song.
You can also use a timer. Speak for 1 minute about any topic without stopping. Don't care about mistakes, just keep talking. Then add another minute next time. That simple routine builds mental endurance and teaches your brain to stay in motion.
Consistency is everything. It's better to practice 10 minutes daily than 1 hour once a week. The small steps create real fluency. With time, you'll realize your pauses aren't controlling you anymore. Your ideas are. And that's the real breakthrough.
One of the biggest mistakes is thinking too much before you speak. When you plan every word, you block your natural rhythm. It's better to let the first idea come out, even if it's not perfect. The more you speak freely, the faster your confidence grows.
Another common mistake is trying to translate every single thought in your head. When you do that, you create a delay between thinking and speaking. The goal isn't to find the perfect word, it's to express the message. Keep moving, and your words will follow.
Many learners also pause because they're afraid of silence. But silence isn't your enemy. It's part of communication. If you take a breath or slow down naturally, that's okay. What matters is to keep your energy alive, even during short moments of quiet.
Some people focus too much on sounding correct, which makes them sound tense. When you worry about every little detail, you lose the feeling of connection. Fluency isn't about being flawless. It's about being real, relaxed, and emotionally present.
A lot of learners avoid speaking until they feel ready. But the truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. Fluency grows through mistakes, not before them. Every time you speak and move past hesitation, you're building the exact skill you think you lack.
Another mistake is speaking only in your mind. You can't build fluency by staying silent. Your mouth, tongue, and voice need to move. Just like playing an instrument, you can't improve by only thinking about it. You have to play it to learn.
Some learners also stop too quickly when they forget a word. Instead, describe it, use gestures, or switch to another idea. The point is to stay in motion. Communication is not about perfect vocabulary. It's about keeping the listener connected to your message.
Others try to memorize long sentences word for word, and that creates pressure. It's better to learn patterns and ideas, then let them adapt in real time. When you speak naturally, your words adjust to the situation, and that flexibility keeps you fluent.
Comparing yourself to others is another trap. You might hear someone speak smoothly and think you'll never get there. But fluency isn't a race. Everyone builds it at their own rhythm, and your voice will sound authentic in its own unique way.
The key to avoiding all these mistakes is awareness. Notice them, smile at them, and move forward. Every time you practice, you're rewiring your brain to trust itself more. The result isn't just better English, it's a stronger, more confident version of you.
Sometimes I record myself speaking about random topics, like what I did during the day or what I'm planning for the weekend. Then I listen and notice where I pause or sound unsure. It's an eye-opener because I can actually hear my progress over time, and that's very motivating.
That's a great method, David. I do something similar, but I like to record short daily reflections, just a minute long. It helps me hear how my sentences flow and whether I'm hesitating less than before. It's like leaving little audio footprints of your fluency journey.
Another thing that really helped me was listening to podcasts made for native speakers, not just learners. At first, I understood maybe 50%, but after a few weeks, my brain adjusted. Suddenly, the speed didn't feel impossible anymore, and the words started connecting naturally.
Yes, and that's the magic moment when you realize you're not translating anymore. You're just understanding. That's when you've trained your brain to think in English. The key is to keep listening daily, even for a few minutes, because that constant exposure rewires your habits.
I also recommend mixing it with speaking right after listening. For example, after a podcast or video, pause it and summarize what you just heard out loud. It helps you reinforce vocabulary and structure without forcing it. You'll be surprised how much your brain retains this way.
That's a powerful exercise. And what I love is that it's flexible. You can do it while cooking, walking, or even waiting for the bus. It's all about integrating English into your routine, so it becomes a natural part of your daily thoughts, not just a study session.
The more natural it feels, the faster you progress. It's like when you move to a new city. At first, everything feels unfamiliar, but soon the streets start to look familiar. English works the same way. Your brain adapts when it's surrounded by it consistently and meaningfully.
Exactly. And that's why it's not about perfection, but about rhythm. A steady, daily rhythm of listening and speaking beats long, stressful study sessions. It's not a race. It's a lifestyle shift where English slowly becomes the background music of your everyday life.
I love that. The background music of your life. That's the perfect way to describe it. When you reach that stage, you stop forcing learning and start living it. Conversations feel smoother, thoughts come faster, and you realize fluency has quietly arrived without pressure.
And that's when speaking English stops being a goal and becomes part of who you are. It's not something outside of you anymore. It's your voice, your thoughts, your personality in another language. That's the real fluency we want our listeners to reach and feel proud of.
We've talked a lot today about how to overcome hesitation, build confidence, and make English part of your daily life. It's not about being perfect. It's about feeling comfortable expressing your thoughts naturally and enjoying the process every single day.
Exactly, David. Fluency isn't built in a day. It's built through consistency and curiosity. The more you listen, speak, and think in English, the more natural it becomes. Every small step matters, and every moment of practice brings you closer to your goal.
If you've listened this far, it shows how serious you are about improving your English fluency. Keep going. You're already ahead of most learners. Remember, confidence grows when you take action, not when you wait for the perfect moment to start.
So true. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. Thousands of learners around the world are listening with you, making small daily progress. That's how language grows, through shared effort and the joy of communicating better every day.
Before you go, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us what part of today's episode helped you the most, or share your own strategy for speaking without hesitation. Your comment might inspire someone else who's struggling to find their confidence in English.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. That small action helps us reach more learners who want to improve their English just like you. Your support really keeps this community growing and motivated to keep learning together.
Let's make this episode interactive. Comment below with the word confidence if you found this content helpful. It's our keyword for today because building confidence is the real foundation of fluency. Let's see how many confident learners we have here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, fluency is not a finish line. It's a journey. We'll see you in the next episode of the Speak English podcast. Until then, keep speaking and keep growing with confidence.